Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too. If you're watching this, that means we have another day to live, laugh, love, learn, and linger. Let's make the best use of it. Finishing my tribute to Robert Moore, I talked yesterday about the 4 archetypal energies that are similar to Jung's feeling, thinking, sensing, and intuiting, and similar to Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. It's easy to figure out when you see what these energies portray, how they embody themselves. King and Queen say, I rule. Magician and medial woman say, I know. Rambo Amazon warrior energy says, I do, or I act. And of course, the beautiful lover within oneself says, I feel. So with that simple schematic, you understand when you're in which part of your psyche. Now, each one of these aspects also has locations, places where they do their work. The king and queen do it in the throne room. Where do you make your decisions? The magician and the medial woman do it in the laboratory, where you do your psychic experiments. The warrior energy in you does it on the battlefield. Where do you confront the adversarial forces in your life? And then the lover does it in the garden, where you have that private time out of the public view for your eyes only. Now, the king and queen represent what we call the line of nurturance, how they bless and liberate people. The magus and the medial woman represent the line of cognition. How do they see, know, create vision, initiate people in and out of sacred space? The warrior has the line of aggression. How do you discipline and channel your energy for the good of the community in service to the throne that's worthy to be loyal to? And then the lover is the one that channels joy by going to the garden. That's called the line of affiliation or embodiment. How do you praise being in the body, in the incarnation, and feel the joy and the compassion for the life experience? Now, each of these lines of energy also have ways that show up in a shadow form. The king and queen can either be a tyrant or a weakling. The magician or the medial woman can either be a detached manipulator or a dreamy innocent pretending they don't know anything. The warrior can either be a sadist or a masochist. And the lover can either be an addicted Don Juan or nymphomaniac, or an impotent ice queen and erectile dysfunction man. So you can recognize the shadow energies when they come up in your life, because in the king and queen, you end up being bossy, not commanding, totally different energy. When the king and queen commands and they're in the right place, everybody wants to obey. But when you're bossy, it immediately creates a force field of rejection. I don't want to follow this. If you're a magician, you're either a manipulative person, you use your knowledge is power, to have ulterior motives and spin it in a certain way, or you're a denier, you pretend you don't know. If you're a warrior, you're either a sadist or a masochist. You do it to other people, or you let it be done to you. And as I said, if you're a lover, you end up either going over the top, no boundaries whatsoever, or you numb yourself in order not to feel. So in that case, numbness, so that you don't feel what's going on, is the shadow aspect of the lover. So recognize those things in yourself. If you're bossy, if you're mean, if you're manipulative, or if you're shutting down on your emotions, you know you're going into the shadow elements of all those. So the king and queen certainly represent Raja Yoga, the royal path, and the magus and the medial woman represent Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge and insight, self-study. The warrior represents the path of action, Karma Yoga, selfless service, and then the lover represents Bhakti Yoga. How do you touch your heart and bring out both the joy and celebration of life, but also commiseration when you feel for the sadness and the suffering that exists in life as well. I hope hope that gives you a lot to reflect on. And now I'll say goodbye for this week. Don't forget Mexico vacation, February 26th to March 5th, 2022, via Shanti, Puerto Morelos. It's our 25th year. Come and have a great celebration with us.